Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pandaria. We're going to watch this twice, because there's a lot to unpack here.
To ask why we fight is to ask why the leaves fall. It is in their nature. Perhaps there is a better question. Why do we fight? To protect home and family. To preserve balance and bring harmony. For my kind, the true question is, what is worth fighting for?
Alright, so 50,000 positives for that. Now, forgive me, but we've got to actually go back through that a second time. It's really funny, Blade Duval, considering that's actually impossible for it to have that vibe. But now you see why so many people barraged this expansion for years, saying, oh, it's just a cheap Kung Fu Panda ripoff, even though, once again, physically impossible. I say without hyperbole that this is probably the objectively best cinematic in the game.
To ask why we fight is to ask...
So what do we start with? Let's talk about this. First of all, extremely high detailed textures on this, but naval battle between the Horde and Alliance. Both ships falling apart. Both ships killing each other. Quite literally, we see the Horde and Alliance flag fall together in the flames of war. Yeah, frankly, Kung Fu Panda has Pandaria vibes. We see the orc first. He's barely surviving. He's scared. Get to the human. What's the human doing? He's making a tool. Because he's a human. Tool users. He's also the one who sees the staircase. So, obviously there's a lot of mists here. One might even call it a fog, one might say. Notice the orc refuses to attack until he's already announced himself. Because this is a real orc and not one of Hellscream's idiots. Orc then is like, okay. I'm gonna go and grab whatever I can nearby and do the best that I can. Ends up destroying a lot of the nearby terrain with it. Both sides can't really get an edge on the other. Chen gets involved. By the way, this is Chen Stormstout. You know, the guy from Warcraft 3. Notice this fog. So, he's dispelled the fog a little bit. Monks, which is what Chen is, are really good about dodging, not taking damage at all. A little bit of a showcasing of that. Chen is also pretty high tier as far as a combatant. The Alliance guy reaches his weapon out to the Orc guy, which is what the Horde Alliance always do when things get real. Chen smiles at that because now we're finally getting somewhere. It's also worth noting that while the two were completely being bodied by Chen when they were fighting him individually, now that they're actually coordinating, they actually managed to push him. So he's actually pulling back a little bit. And so he allows himself to be pushed over here, and he dispels the fog of war. This then unveils Pandaria proper, which is an extraordinarily prosperous and lush land. Even by Warcraft standards. In fact, it is artificially prosperous.
And family.
As in, it's crafted. We'll get to that.
And bring harmony.
And both the human and the orc can only gape at the gorgeousness before them.
Is worth fighting for.
And I love that last line. The question is not why do we fight, the question is what is worth fighting for. And that is one of the predominant themes of the entire expansion. Yeah, the cinematic more or less literally tells the story of the entire expansion in symbolism. Yep, 1+ for the cinematic. Oh yeah, by the way, you can go there in the game. Of course you can. I don't understand the question there. That is not Taylor and Nazgrim, no. I don't think so. Hi, 2-Base Master. You can repair the hammer. You get an achievement for it. Do you know who it is then? Why would it matter? Triangle strategy. Fire Emblem, 3 houses, and tyranny. Oh, well, eventually I'll put it up on the website, Act. I haven't done so yet because that would be insane. Like, the amount of additional work that would add on top of the fact that, like, I mean, come on, dude. I was so overexhausted that I slept in an extra 2 hours. What do you want from me? Do you really want me to be working even more, Act? So, the golden number for Cataclysm was 490.67. So, I'm going to say 13 pluses to that cutscene. No, I am not joking. It's one of the best in the entire game, if not the best. And we have to do things a little bit out of order. Or more accurately, we have to do things very much in order. Yeah, that's pretty much the canon look for humans going forwards. Big, bulky, and honestly a little cartoony. Which, yeah, I'm actually completely with. Oh, by the way, did you notice that both the human and the orc were very stylized based on their appearances back in Warcraft 2? No, that was a cutscene. That's in-game. The game gets credit for it. Just like FF14, the game gets credit for its trailers. Oh no, completely different size each one. Cataclysm, the one you just saw, is definitely the longest. Legion's going to be a decent-sized one as well. Pandaria will probably be done with by next week. Warlords is going to be the shortest, I predict. And BFA might be a long one again, I'm not sure. That's kind of a debatable. Put it into a bit of perspective, since I keep track of these things. The Burning Crusade was 69 hours, and most of that was padding. Wrath of the Lich King was 67 hours and was much larger, but no padding. Cataclysm was 158 hours. A little bit of padding here and there. It's kind of a per zone
The swarm is advancing over the serpent's spine. We must drive them back.
We're fine. Yeah, we'll see, Magister. And by Magister, I mean Verdictum.
Tell me of your travels. Family, friends, food.
What?
You are in for a treat.
Oh, yeah. Right. Let's go ahead and update the HUD. I was saving this. So here's where Pandaria is starting.
Farewell.
No, the scores you saw were for Kata.
You need something? Go with honor, friend.
There they are.
Slow down. White Tiger watch over you.
Thank you, as always, Mr. Botland, for warning us of the oncoming cheese invasion.
May the red crane live forever.
Yeah, don't look.
in your
Don't
heart.
look. I'm gonna be staring right at it. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense.
Goodbye.
Pandaria came up with this brand new concept. They're called scenarios. So, scenarios are a form of dungeon. They're really, really good.
Contingency plan. Your mission is to infiltrate Theramore Isle, burn their ships, butcher their flight master,
sabotage their war machines, and rescue our spy. Throw them into chaos while we regroup. The eyes of Hellscream are upon you.
So, scenarios were an extremely good idea. I'm actually kind of sad they got rid of them until they brought them back in War Within, although they called them delves then. Scenarios are 3-man dungeons. They're designed to be role agnostic, so you can come in as tank or deeps or healer or whatever the hell you want to. And there's mechanics and designs to them. They are designed like instances. They're just designed around 3 people instead of 5. There's also heroic scenarios. We'll talk about those later. Now, unfortunately, the overwhelming majority is I'm pretty sure we will not be giving gameplay positives to, which, as usual, sucks. The reason why is because, as you can see, they are scaled. Or, miraculously, they're not scaled at all. So the only thing we can do is run through these and run roughshod over them. So, as with so many other things, this is going to be a story-only affair. So this is the attack on Theramore. This is how Pandaria began. If you've been paying attention to the document, you notice the first negative there is a launch negative. And that launch negative is for this. It wasn't a bad launch by any account. In fact, there were no bugs, no issues, no server problems. No, there was something else. A terrible, terrible launch event. So WoW has always done pre-launch events, and I've been telling you about them as we go. And they vary in quality. They've been decent or good or bad. Caddis was pretty solid. Wraths was okay. Legions is the best so far. Shadowlands was Wraths, but worse. That's not actually a joke. That's literally what happened. Pandaria, however, despite being Pandaria, had just the worst. It is the actual worst pre-launch event we have ever had in WoW. Because all it was these 2 scenarios I'm about to do. Nothing else. And that's the problem. Scenarios are kind of, well, they're dungeons. And that's it. Let's see. These are level 35s, which makes sense. I think they're 35s. I'll double check that in a second. Yep, they're 35s. Your Warlords had a real dungeon and an actual quest arc, plus some events you could do out in the Blasted Lands. Warlords is probably the second weakest launch event, by the way. But not bad enough to warrant a negative, not like this. Let me tell you a story. So as you remember, every single one of my friends quit WoW during Cataclysm except for me. And I was just busying myself running around doing dungeons, or not dungeons, the New World stuff. All of the Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdom stuff that we'd been doing over the past 3 weeks. So, we decided to go ahead and give it one last shot when it came to Pandaria. It's like, okay, sure, that sounds fun. So we decided to go and hop in during the pre-launch event, because of course we did. The pre-launch events are always cool, right? So, PAX subs up. We hop on, we do these 2 scenarios in probably about half an hour, tops. And then it was just an overwhelming, that's it? That's the pre-launch event? And it was. That's the problem. There really was nothing to do. It was just, do these 2 scenarios. Okay, we're done. I'm sorry to keep emphasizing that, but it was really disappointing. And as a result, we walked into Pandaria with a hugely negative attitude. Thankfully, the first zone was the Jade Forest.
Big shot, huh?
Alright. Each of these bosses has real mechanics that you can't see and I can't give positives to. I'm just glad they actually have, the scenarios available at all, so you can at least see the story, because if I try to be surprised, a lot of MSQ is in the scenarios, including what's happening right now. This is an event that people have talked about for literal years when it comes to discussing WoW lore. Now, we've been discussing this event a couple of times. Yeah, there was a book about this. Tides of War, I want to say. Something like that. Wasn't a great book. Wasn't a fan of it.
Target you.
I'm not going to tell you what happened in the book. Just what happens in the scenario. All you need to know is that the South Barrens quagmire has developed to the point where now they're actually attacking Theramore. Remember, this highway right here actually goes straight to the South Barrens. So, the forces of Hellscream have successfully pushed back to this point. There's some other stuff going on, but none of it really matters. All you need to know is that this is where the front line of the Kalimdor War is. So, the Horde send infiltrators. That's us. Yes, Yura. I don't think any of the Warcraft books have been written by in-house writers. I could be wrong about that, though. Don't quote me. Also, other good what for beginners were like them. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to admit I don't understand the question. What does it being a beginner have to do with anything?
Oh, it's about time. Will you free me, or did you have other ideas?
I'm not having sex with you.
The Sunreavers will not be pleased. Mark my words. The captain of the guard upstairs, Hedrick Evenkane, should possess a key. Please, make haste.
Yeah, no, we're great infiltrators. Either way, I'll answer the question in a different way. Are there any good books? Period. In my opinion, there's only two that are okay. And even those I wouldn't recommend unless you're already well invested in the story. Those would be Arthas and Illidan. Past that, I'd skip them.
Yes! My thanks. Shall we make our way off this miserable little island? The failed siege was merely a feint, of course. You didn't realize? Even now, an airship draws near. Its arcane payload will flatten Theramore Isle, and everyone's still standing upon it. There we go. Should you pass through Silvermoon City, come and say hello, Aldiel Shala.
So, you remember the monobombs, right? From BC? We spent a while discussing them and how horrific they are.
We're gonna turn this place into a sinkhole.
Well, this is a monobomb hopped up by the Eye of Eternity from Northrend. In fact, Jaina Proudmoore very nearly died here. Ronan actually died saving her life here. That was strange. Ah! Debatable, Spartan. People argue that. I need Heli. There you are. Yeah, a couple people died there. One or two. Ronan was considered a fairly major character to die there. He's not the only one, though. We'll actually be hearing about Ronan's death several times over the coming stuff. Because his wife survived. Monobombs are a little bit worse than nukes overall, but yes. To put it into simple terminology, monobombs are nukes.
Why, hello.
Right.
It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, Miss Proudmoore did not deal with this very well. Now, several people are going to argue this back and forth, as will we. In my opinion, this is also when Jaina stopped being in character for a bit. And frankly, wouldn't return to being in character in, and I can't believe I'm saying this, BFA. Of all things, BFA decided to make Jaina in character when it was character assassinating everyone else. I don't know what you're talking about, Fife. There's nothing on my forehead. You're seeing things. Oh, right. Alliance. Yeah, BFA took that new Jaina and threw her completely out the window. And frankly, thank God. Yeah, Tyrande is also not great in Pandaria. We'll talk about that when we get there. We're in the right timeline? We're in the right timeline. Okay.
Speak up. Enough of that.
See, there's nothing on my forehead. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you see like I do? So this is an interesting decision by Blizzard. No matter what, whether you are Alliance or Horde, you always see the bomb go off.
We're gonna turn this place into a sinkhole.
I mentioned that because, as weird as this may sound, not every player plays both sides. So anytime they lock story behind one side or the other, it means they're kind of deliberately preventing, a huge portion of the player base from seeing at least some of the dialogue or cutscenes or events or whatever. They put the monobomb here to make sure, no, really, that both sides see it. Yeah, Legion will see something that actually really, really pisses me off, and I will give a negative to. It's the only negative I'm going to give the Broken Shore. But it's getting it. And yeah, in lore, this isn't a fort. This is a city. Warcraft 3, that is to say Frozen Throne, gives a better idea of how huge this place actually is in lore. Yeah, Dazara lore, they did a better job with that. It's worth noting, Legion is ironically one of the last times they did that whole, we're trying to, slant players against each other thing. Because let's be clear, that's why they were doing it. They wanted the players to dislike each other. Exactly. They wanted the Horde and Alliance to dislike each other. And for the record, it frickin' worked. I know players, I'll use the Legion example. I know players for years who actually legitimately thought that Sylvanas betrayed the Alliance at the Broken Shore. Because of the slanted storytelling I just mentioned. Not to defend Sylvanas of all people, but no. It's not even close to what happened. Yeah, I like Legion a lot, but honestly, the player base around then was some of the most aggravating it had ever been. And it led straight into BFA. And while BFA has its own issues in-game, I will freely admit that a lot of my disdain for BFA actually comes from the community in that era. No, really. Like, I've already mentioned my issues with the HVA. Not going to go over that again. But then you got to consider that the player base was just really leaning into it to what can only be referred to as a toxic degree. Like, you'd think it was actual real-life politics how much these people were going after each other. And I was extraordinarily sick of it. When Shadowlands, like when BFA ended the HVA thing, and Shadowlands was a return to favor, it's one of the reasons I was like, oh, I'm ready for Shadowlands, let's do it. And then it was Shadowlands. I've said it before and I've said it again. On paper, there's nothing wrong with rooting for your team. But good God, people. Within reason. By the way, have you noticed how much of this is almost identical to the scenario we just did in terms of gameplay? Just contributing to how cheap this whole sequence felt and why this has already gotten a negative. Like, look, we fight a griffin on one side, but we fight a wyvern on the other. Totally different. This is the part that's a little bit different, story-wise, but then we're going to go fight a tank again. Like, it's the same goddamn quest.
This aberration destroyed everything. Everyone. The Horde cannot be allowed to recover the focusing iris. Eliminate what remains of their forces, and I will secure the artifact.
And by destroy their forces, she means go fight the exact same tank boss that you just fought in the Horde. I actually know players who didn't recognize Jaina here. Like, this is their introduction to her as a character.
Target you.
Seriously, it has the exact same mechanics. I'm sorry to keep hammering this point on, but this was just... It was so cheap. It was so, dare I say, thrown together. And if that sounds familiar, well, this came out not too long after the Dragon Soul. Oh, that's right. Probably the only good thing this does is give us an insight into the crater. Which, again, yeah, it flattened most of the city.
I must attune to the focusing iris before transport. Protect
No
me!
one can protect you. Kill the Proudmoore wench. And bring me that
Your
bomb!
people are despicable cowards, Orc. You're nothing more than rabid dogs, and you will be put down!
Okay, so that's a little out of character for Jaina, but I'm willing to let that go. This is literally minutes after, you know, her city was destroyed. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one.
All of you have my deepest thanks. With the focusing iris removed, this lifeless bomb is merely a sickening testament to Garrosh's brutality. The winds of change blow fiercely. Azeroth is on the brink of war.
What?
Apologies, but you must excuse me. I have much to consider. Farewell.
Azeroth has been at war at this point for like 3 years. No, seriously. The Hellscream War has been waging for... It's actually one of the longest wars in, like, the Warcraft history. Recent history, like, since the game started. The only one that's longer is the First and Second Wars, if you combined them. The Hellscream War raged for 3 expansions. Anyways. So now Theramore has been completely freaking nuked. Cool. I give in to the void. Sorry. And yeah, that also ended the South Baron's quagmire. That's true. I didn't even think about that, Pillars of Snow, but you are correct. Yep, I am a Void Lightforged. Why do you think I did this on Heli? Meanwhile... I mean, look up how long World War I was sometime, Blade of All. We'll be a monk, of course. Because they were rushed, Magister. You could see how we're looking at this game when we first were playing this, when we did that scenario, and it's like, that's it? That's not very well written. It's kind of rushed. The two sides were practically identical. That's your launch? So yeah, we were not very enthused about walking into this. At all. Yep, the well was thoroughly poisoned. The only reason we kept going was we'd already bought the expansion, and back then, buying an expansion gave you a free month. So it's like, alright, well, sure. I guess we'll stick with it. I do not, J. Palmer. I mean, the wiki probably has some info on that. That's about all I got. That sounds about right. Please. Get that too, Thor.
You are a Pandaren, born and raised on the mysterious Wandering Isle. While many of your fellow Pandaren prefer a tranquil life, the lure of adventure burns in your blood. Recently, the Wandering Isle has begun erratically weaving about the world's oceans. The air grows cold, and your island home is spiraling toward disaster. As one of the most promising of students at Master Shang's monastery, you may just be the salvation for your people. But first, you must complete your training.
Good morning, Evo. Welcome to the Wandering Isles. I don't know why we all say it in multiplayer. Like, we all do that. We all call it the Wandering Isles, even though it's the Wandering Isle, but whatever. But yes, do you see that fin out there? We are on the back of a tremendously huge turtle. This, of course, is a Loa. It is, ironically, one of the weaker Loas overall. This is kind of a strange one. Yes, the turtle made it to the water. Because, obviously, it's huge and it's lived for centuries. But the problem is, it's grown so large that its spirit energy that it has essentially barely sustains itself. And a whole lot of that spirit energy goes towards the island that is on its back. Yeah, I like that the water's flowing over there. In other words, whereas most Loa focus all that spirit energy into themselves, that makes them super powerful, like we've already seen with Asina or Malorn. Here, the overwhelming majority of the energy just goes everywhere else.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
First, you will need a weapon suited to your talents. Retrieve a star from one of the weapon racks below. Bring it to me. Show you can equip it properly. I mean, it is an island. It's not actually a joke, but obviously there's some MMO scale going on here. You notice the Wandering Isle's not even on the world map, which makes sense. We're roaming. Oh, me too. Shenzhen Zoo is just a fascinating concept. But anyways, we'll come back here in Legion, but it'll be the same zone. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Grab a weapon. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Kung Fu Panda jokes are banned henceforth. Of course I'm a monk. What self-respecting Pandaren would not be a monk?
It is good to see you.
A fine weapon. It should suit your needs well. Let us put it to use.
My time is
I'd like to
past.
observe you putting your new weapon to use, my young
Approaches
student.
swiftly.
This will aid me in determining what degree of training will be best suited to your talents. We have many training targets in the training grounds below. Practice your attacks upon them. Return to me once you're comfortable with your new weapon. Yes, Pandarans can be warlocks, which is interesting to think about. Correct. Pandaria brought us the monk class. Pandaren can be plenty of classes, but, well, I've sort of shown this off already during the lore run. A lot of their attack animations were clearly designed with Pandarans in mind. I mean, they literally built the class around the Pandarans and their movement tech. I should also mention the Pandarans were the beginning of something new for WoW. Better models. When Pandaria first launched, Pandarans were just kind of weirdly better than every other race in the game. Like, to such a crazy degree. Because, remember, at this point, everyone else was still their vanilla models. Now, this is also when they started experimenting with, rolling out the new models to the other races, and Garrosh was our actual first testbed for that, which we'll see in a second. Yeah, they even showed off some of their new physics stuff. And then Warlords is when they actually finally formally rolled out all of the new racial overhauls. Yeah, Goblin and Worgen were weird. Because they were... The Goblin and Worgen you're seeing right now is actually not the original Goblin and Worgen. They received an update later, too. But that's neither here nor there.
Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses.
Not bad. You have indeed chosen the proper path. Good. Let us continue.
Our greatest trials yet lay before us.
Facing a living opponent is a very different thing from stationary targets in the yard. Living opponents strike back. There's the very real fear of failure and sometimes even death. You must have the courage to overcome those fears. Challenge the other trainees with the temple on the steps below and defeat them. Actually, yes, they can. Yeah, anyone can be a warlock, and mage, and warrior, and priest, I think is the list. Something like that. I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, Earthen can't be Death Knights, but that makes sense. No, really, think about it for just a second. Earthen and Drakthir, frankly, shouldn't be allowed to be Death Knights because no one currently exists who has the knowledge and power to make them. Like, I'm all for bending lore for players to play what they want to, but explain that one to me. Yeah, Earthen Death is also unique. The Horsemen were made by the third Lich King, Claude. That's a valid counter-argument, Act.
Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses.
Intriguing, my young pupil. Most of the other trainees have been here for quite some time, but you're the first to match them even within the first hour. This speaks well of you, but there are other lessons I would see you learn.
It is good to see you, my student.
Every wisdom has a time and place, and times are changing for those of us living on Shenzhen Zoo. For this lesson, I would ask two things of you. The first, I hold a flame in my hand. Gather your wits, and when you think you're ready, attempt to snatch the flame. Should you succeed, I want you to climb to the top of the temple and burn the Edict of Temperance that you find there. Okay, I can do that. Oh god, I don't remember Noctis for a decent chunk of time, though. Taurens can make paladins. They can make awesome paladins. Although, my favorite paladin race to date is still Zandalari. Notice they pretty much force you to go to a height, just so you can take in the terrain for a moment. I should mention, you're going to notice something if you're paying any kind of attention to the visuals. The graphics just suddenly look better. That's because the literal texture resolution is higher. So, Pandaria, I've talked about this, every single expansion pushes the graphics forward a little bit on the technical side, but Pandaria was one of the bigger jumps forward. And this is obvious in a lot of places. We're officially at the point where Blades of All is going to be very sad at how many visual positives we're going to start giving zones. Speaking of... Just take that in for a second. Take in that shot right there. Look at that. I'm pretty sure Huthor is either joking or being contrarian. Which might as well be joking at that point. I was gonna say, pretty sure that's a joke, but you are right. The problem with the music in Pandaria, it's awesome, but I can't quite give zones Pandaria music positive for the most part. Like, there's a couple of zones that have distinct music. Heart of Fear, for example, has distinct music. So does Kunlai. But a lot of places just have Pandaria music. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to just give positives to Pandaria, like the whole expansion. Kunlai is, in fact, a mountain range, with a vast plain around it. Oh yeah, and one of our only music negatives.
My time is passing, but your time approaches swiftly.
The fact that you are able to snatch the flames so easily is no small feat. The Edict of Temperance is a scroll of wisdom passed down from my elders' elders, wisdom from a more peaceful time. Every lesson has its time and place. With darkness on the horizon, the time for this particular wisdom has passed. The burning of the scroll is an acceptance of things to come, and a promise to action. Your hand in carrying the flame, I suspect you'll continue to carry the flame in the future.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
I see great strength and courage in you, an unsurpassed purity of soul. The hour is young, but I think you may be ready to face a greater challenge. Go to the bottom of the stairs and cross the bridge. There you will find Huamin Ro, one of our eldest students. Challenge and defeat him in honorable combat, and this first phase of your training will be complete. I can do that. Oh, hang on. Got to ban Ross. No, I'm kidding. You get one warning. One. I hope you're ready. Wamian rates just over the bridge. Oh, thank you. Sorry, but it was a tired joke 10 years ago. And it's been the source of a lot of very real vitriol and toxicity over the years, so we're just no tolerancing it here.
Our greatest trial.
I've never seen the movies. I have no opinion on them, act. I'm told they're really good. You truly impress. It seems certain the path of the monk is indeed the path for you.
It is good.
In such a short time, you've shown me that you have the potential to be a great monk. The training grounds are behind you, but now you must prove yourself by facing a greater challenge, one that none of my students have accomplished. I want you to return to Huo, the spirit of fire, to the Temple of the Five Dawns. My two other most gifted students will help you. Asa Cloudsinger is the first. Seek her out to the pool to the west. Yeah, that's what I've been told, but just know. I never deliberately didn't watch them. It's just I don't have a lot of movie time in my life. That's really all it boils down to. You're departing so soon. I'm envious of your prowess, monk. Good luck to you. Thank you. Well, yeah, but first I gotta review the movies that, you know, I actually want to review. As a test bed. As a test bed to make sure the system even works. After then, we'll think about it. Hell, I'm still working on reviewing music. I finished setting up the spreadsheet just last night. Shh, come quietly. She's practicing.
Welcome. Next one is on me.
You came for Isa. You really shouldn't interrupt her till she finishes her exercises. She doesn't speak to anyone until her routine is done. In the meantime, could you help me? I've had some bad luck with forest sprites.
May the mists protect you.
Amberleaf scamps swarmed my cart and stole most of my training supplies I was bringing to the training grounds. They've always been troublemakers, but they've never been this aggressive before. I don't know what happened. Please help me recover my supplies.
There is no hurry. Jade Serpent, guide.
My driver went running off after the sprites after they attacked. I don't think they'll really do him any harm, but I need him back to help me clean up the mess by the cart. He chased them off towards the cliffs to the north. If you head that direction, you should find him quickly.
May the mists protect you.
Oh no, I won't do a video on it. That's ridiculous. Actually making videos? Pfft. What, do you think I have time? Hello, Talmarin. I can't even imagine actually relaxing. I really can't. That's not a joke. I have too much to do. Too little time to do it in. I mean, you didn't actually make me mad, Ross. I was just mentioning it because you're the latest person to pop in, that's all. Thank you. Speaking of which, yeah, what do you think of the Pandaria shirt? I was really torn on this one. Because I've got a green shirt, too. I mean, like 10 people did it. That's the point, Savicom. Everyone gets one warning. Bring the hammer down. Well, I will take that as a compliment. Come back here with our supplies. So in lore, monks are... I think I've talked about this before. Monks are actually shamans. But they're very specific discipline, I think is the word I want to use, of shamans. Most shamans use their power to connect with the elements. We connect with the spirit realm directly. Ki is what we call it. Hello? Mr. Shang trained you well. Thank you, friend. I couldn't have fought them off alone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go find the cart. Okay. Hi, craziness. Cart! Cart! Hello, cart. Still upside down, I see. Yeah, the reason they call them mist weavers and mist walkers is because they're directly manifesting ki, that is to say, spirit energy, into a mist format. You're probably wondering why mists. That's actually a long story, believe it or not. But let's just say that there are some cultural reasons why the Pandorans have an affinity for mist. Leave it at that for now. That sounds about right, J. Palmer. Oh.
A challenge in compassion and humility. By helping Merchant Lorvo, it would seem you have passed. Master Shang would be pleased.
Yeah, thank you. I had one of the kiddos crawling all over me last night playing, which is always fun. This morning my throat's sore. So anyways, if I die, you'll know why.
Hello. Next one is on me.
You needn't worry about hurting the sprites. They're really just living plants when it comes down to it. They'll resprout later.
Jade Serpent guide you. There is no hurry.
You are too kind, monk.
Jade Serpent guide you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Isa of the Tushui. I have spent much time and thought since Master Shang told me we'd be searching for Huo, the Spirit of Fire. I know where he resides, but not how to reach him. The answers are close, however. Come with me to the Cave of Meditation. It's a place of great wisdom. I will meditate there, open my mind, and the path shall find us.
Meet me up in the cave if you would, friend.
Wait, can I just... Okay. So you may or may not have noticed something. And I don't blame you if you don't, but I noticed it immediately. The in-gameplay cutscenes are way better already. One of the biggest problems Cataclysm had was their in-gameplay cutscenes. And their in-engine cutscenes were not good. To put that as nicely as I could. They were buggy, they were coarse, they got everywhere. Sorry, I shouldn't joke. They were bad. It got to the point where I was giving almost every single zone negatives just to cutscene design, because the cutscenes were actively ruining themselves. Even good cutscenes with good story things would almost always have a cutscene negative attached to them. Yeah, no, the scripting was extremely basic. Do animation this. Connect rope to this. Switch animation to this. Swing forward. Hit guy. Guy goes flying. Do animation this. You know, it just really, really, really basic stuff. And it looked exactly as bad as I just described.
Keep those creatures at bay while I meditate. We'll soon have the answers we seek.
But Pandaria has already been showing itself to be a better... well, just better about that. You probably haven't even noticed the cutscenes that have been playing because they're so smooth. We've already seen like 6 at this point. Shadowlands, much as I hate to admit it, did do a very good job with its in-gameplay cutscenes. Although, personally, I would say Warlords is when I really started to notice the quality there. Personally. The only common consensus I know about Pandaria is that everyone agrees it's one of the best expansions. I don't know if it actually is or not. That's what we're here to review. The way of the Tushui is enlightenment through patience and meditation, the principled life. I could see that, Udor. I was admittedly very specifically thinking of several of the big cutscenes, in-gameplay cutscenes in Warlords. Like the entire intro sequence, for example. But you're right, they do just have /talk. When the camera switches over to someone and they're talking, they just go.
Path lays before us. Speak to Master Shang-Zi. He will tell you what comes next.
Okay.
Forget injury.
Did you notice how it keeps just kind of quietly teleporting our quest givers to us? This is an even further development of what they did back in Kata, where they tried to remove a lot of the backtracking. There is hardly any backtracking in quest design in Pandaria. Like, just nothing. Your path is set before you. You will be the one to rekindle the spirit of fire and bring it to the safety of the temple. This will not be the only time you and Isa work together. She's strong and wise. You can trust her.
Our greatest trials yet lay before us.
Another of my most talented students awaits you in Wusong village to the northwest. He is of a different mind than Isa, but in their differences they bring balance to each other. G. Firepaw will instruct you on gathering the offerings. Trust in his wisdom. I mean, I think we can all agree War Within crushes everything else with its in-gameplay cutscenes. But again, as Yura pointed out, it's gradual, right? It's iterative. It sits on the back of giants. Backs, even, plural. It's like, you remember that one cutscene in Shadowbringers where they just suddenly had animations, like custom, bespoke animations? And everyone was like, holy crap, because it was kind of a tech test for them.
That monkey butt.
So this is G Firepaw. If the comparison wasn't obvious enough, Ice is wearing blue, and G is wearing fire. Or red, excuse me.
Welcome.
Hello. You look poised and confident. I like that. I've heard some rather impressive whispers about you around the training grounds. If you're half as capable as they say, I think you and I are going to be good friends.
I'm with you.
I saw fire on the screen, and I read fire. I'm sorry. I'm not here today. Don't look at me. We call those vicious monkeys swinging into town Holzen. They keep to themselves normally, but they know something bad is coming, so they're here to steal our supplies. In situations like this, the clear answer is the only answer. The monkeys will leave when we force them to leave. To not defend our town and those we love would be the only true crime. Thus is the way of the Holzen. That is true, Thor. Look, WoW is just that advanced. You can just leave it running and it'll play itself. Now, that's actually not as funny as a joke as it probably should be, because that's an entire genre of MMOs. Yes, really. In Korea. Happy New Year, Tara. I am enjoying the review series, thank you. Especially now that we're in Pandaria. Oh yeah, by the way, holes in music while we're here. It's true, Kier White Noise. I didn't believe you. And I still don't. She was right, though. Oh my god, Huthor. That's hilarious. No offense. The golf cart's like, I got this. Ah! What's torque?
The time to act.
You've got some fight in you. I think I like you.
The greatest virtue is the will to act.
Now that that's done with, let's get to it. Wool, the spirit of fire, hungers for dry dogwood root kindling. It grows amongst the trees south of the village. It should be enough for you to gather some.
It's good to see you.
Strange things about wind. It can be hard to wrap your hands around it. The best practice for me has been finding some sort of living wind. If it can punch you, you can punch it back, and it won't slip through your grasp. Head to the Shrine of Summer Breeze and summon just such a wind by using this stone. Best it, gather a fluttering breeze, and come back this way so we can figure out what's next. I wonder. Yep, I have my FPS capped at 60. I knew there was a reason I did that, and I think you just reminded me of what that reason is. Technically, I'm not a faction yet, because that's not how Pandaren work. So the answer would be none. There's a reason why these first few quests deal with helping with the Tushui and the Huojin. Ironmend is Horde. Zynjin is Alliance, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who leveled his Pandaren on the Wandering Isle is still there. That's to say, his character's still there. By the way, I want to stress how absolutely bonkers insane that is. We all talk about leveling being fast in WoW. Imagine gaining 1 experience per thing. Literally, 1 experience. Now imagine that kills don't give you experience at all. You can only gain experience through herbing. So you have to run around gathering herbs, and each herb you gather gives you 1 experience. I've actually commented on this before. There's several streamers that do exactly this. Something really, really, really boring to do as part of a challenge run. Those streams tend to be weirdly popular. No judgment, I suppose, but it is a thing. I mean, in the interest of fairness, people watch leveling streams and classic, too. And I know what those streams are. Those streams are chatting streams that happen to have a screensaver on the side. No offense to that. It's just that is what that is. There's no reason to deny that. God, I love this stuff. All right, hang on. I need to jot down some thoughts. Well, you remember that one big death that happened in Sunken Temple that everyone made a huge deal about? I get the feeling that most people are like, oh man, I can't wait to be there so I can experience that kind of a thing live. So, you know, they show up just in case something catastrophic. It's why you go to a NASCAR race, right? You don't go to NASCAR to watch the race. You go there to watch the crash. That's an exaggeration. I know that's not true. But in all honesty, I do think that there's at least a portion of people who go to those kind of streams to watch the disaster happen. And, of course, to watch the finale, right? To watch when they finally succeed. You'll notice that the viewing figures of those streamers, once they get close to actually accomplishing their goal, suddenly and rather substantially go up. Because a lot of people want to be there when they finally manage it. I was actually watching a damageless Mega Man 3 stream. This is a while ago. And the chat was just absolutely spammed with, I was there. I was there. I believe this is it. This is real, etc., etc., etc. You get it. People like to be there when you actually finish it, when you actually succeed. Thank you for the sub to Castus. For the third of the subs that you have given to me. No apologies necessary. Amazon Prime doesn't do the resub thing because they're stupid. I've heard their excuse for it. It's still stupid. I do appreciate your support. Thank you. As a reminder, you can put that towards up to 3 future streams if you'd like to. And yeah, that too, Crazy Horse. Gotta get that Schadenfreude in there. Yeah, speaking of which, plus to music. Holes in music. Tyranny is still on there. Remember, you can pick 3 things, though. So you can pick Tyranny and whatever else you feel like. Within reason. You can't add something to the list, though. That's different. It's a whole other thing. No, DeCestis, sorry. Excuse me.
Welcome. The greatest virtue.
I hope you're not shy about getting your hands dirty. Oh, you've returned, roots in hand. You're a down-to-business kind of guy, aren't you? I like that.
The time to act.
When opportunity arises, it is our responsibility to reach out and grab it. Second guessing is as good as giving up.
I'm with you.
You know what it is to seize opportunity. I see we are kindred spirits. I don't know if I get that far. For the Horde! I mean.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
You have done well this far, my student. You have the materials you need to rekindle Huol, the spirit of fire. In the cave to the southwest he awaits, but he is guarded by Master Li Fei, the Pandaren elder you met in the Cave of Meditation. Go to him with your offerings, prove yourself, and then meet Huol. I can do that. Well, at the very least I can fail miserably at it. And then everyone in chat can be like, I was there! I was there for you to fail! Yeah, they don't actually talk too much about the specifics of the Holzen just yet. But yeah, the best way to describe the Holzen is that they don't mature. Their life cycles are wrong. And I am going to say wrong because biologically it's messed up. Because, spoilers, there's some external forces influencing life on Pandaria. So the Holzen, they live to be about 20-ish, I want to say, on average. Which is also right about when they start to hit maturity. Now, they can live longer, but they generally don't. Again, like I said, their biology is literally wrong. So, every Hosen you see is actually a kid, or more accurately, a teenager. And the moment you realize that the Hosen are a race of teenagers is the moment you understand everything about the Hosen. There aren't many older ones, but actually, yes. We do meet a couple, like very few, actually, mature Hosen. And yeah, they're better. They have figured things out a bit more. Aw. I'm sorry you're feverish. I understand, I'm battling my second wave of being sick right now. Let's see, we'll put that towards Wander Song. Chance of Senar, and Technical Breach Wizards. Thank you, as always, for being part of the show, Roman Cure.
You are most welcome.
But again, the problem with the Hosen is that their maturity cycle does not match their lifespan. Like, what probably should happen if their biology was correct is they would reach maturity at, like, age 5, right? Instead, they reach maturity at their average lifespan, and it's like, Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. There's a path before you, but you choose the trials you will face and the trials you will overcome.
May you find mastery in your passions.
You are strong of mind and strong of will, but you lack the skills to face me in combat. You must fight with your body, but in truth it is your character being tested. Let us even the playing field. Take this torch, light the brazier, then use it to light the 3 braziers around the pool.
Slow down.
Okay, I can do that.
Life is to be savored.
It's never explained why. The short answer is Titans. The long answer we'll get to later. I don't want to spoil too much in the first 10 minutes of the stream. As we'll discover, though, the Titans are behind everything in Pandaria. Go figure.
You have the eyes of one who has traveled much.
These fires will give you strength that you've not yet obtained. They will illuminate your potential.
May the red crate...
It is time for you to face me. With these 3 fires illuminating your potential, we will see with certainty whether your resolved soul is truly worthy of passing.
Family, friends...
Ah! Very accidental, Grazenors. Everything that happened in Pandaria happened after the Titans are long gone. Put it that way. I mean, fair enough, Kira White Noise. Yeah, we don't... We'll talk about Ra much later. We will. We'll get there. One of my favorite little things to show off. How many of you knew you could roll in any direction as a monk? Or that. There's even a different animation for it. If you go sideways, it's like...
What wisdom do you see?
Remember always, the superior warrior is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions.
May you find mastery in your passions.
You are worthy of passing, monk. Woe, the spirit of fire rests in the chamber beyond. Let him feast on the kindling you've gathered, and use the wind to fan his flames. Doing so should endear you to him. Once he is ignited, if he is willing, lead him to the Temple of Five Dawns. It is the building standing at the center of the island.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
Feel better there? Through the glare, it looks like Woe was smiling. He seems to have warmed up to you. He bounces around excitedly, ready to follow you. So you'll notice the elementals here look differently. I actually talked about this during the lore run, too. It really helped... There's a later quest that really nails this in, but it really helps to emphasize how much lower tier Pandaria really is. In the rest of the world, elementals are things to be feared, killed, or, revered. You bow and scrape, or they kill you. Here, the elementals are just kind of there, hanging out. Like, a little bit of cultural osmosis has happened, so... They're pretty chill. Is that wool? Hi. It is! Well done. Thank you. That's actually entirely possible, Kira White Noise. And remember, elementals, while they're a bit alien, they do still tend to follow the overall modes and tides of those around them. And the rest of Azeroth is a much more dangerous place than Pandaria. So, it's entirely possible that that's just what happened. Other elementals are more dangerous because they live in more dangerous places.
Welcome, Hyo. The people have missed your warmth.
Evo. 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 So this is a statue to Liu Long, excuse me. Every horizon is a treasure chest, every blank map a story waiting to be told. The first Pandaran explorer, Liu Long, disembarked from the mainland on the back of the great turtle Shenzhen-Zu. His discoveries proved that the rest of the world had survived the Sundering. He would return to Pandaria every 5 years, gathering more wanderers and explorers with each visit, until his death at the age of 122. The turtle has not returned to Pandaria since. And yeah, there's little Shenzhen-Zu.
My time is passing.
Ah, you've done very well. Whoa, the spirit of fire is here. The Temple of Fires are ignited, and you have accomplished the challenge I put forward you with seeming ease. There's greater purpose in bringing Hua here. It's time I tell you about things to come.
You have conquered every challenge I put before you. You have found Hyo and brought him safely to the temple. There is a much larger
problem we face now, my students. Shenzin Su is in pain. If we do not act, the very land on which we stand could die. And all of us with it. We need to speak to Shenzin Su and discover how to heal it. And to do that, we need the 4 elemental spirits returned. Hyo was the first. G, I would like you to go to the Dailo farmstead in search of Wu Gao, the spirit of Earth.
On it!
Asa, I want you to go to the singing pools to find Shu, the spirit of water.
Yes, Master.
And you shall be the hand that guides us all. Speak with me for a moment before you join Asa at the singing pools to the east. Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses.
It is crucial we bring all 3 remaining spirits back safely. I am too old to do this myself, and for all their strength, both Asa and G are single-minded in their ideals. You possess all the qualities of a hero, and a balance they do not. It is you who must do this. Shu, the spirit of water, is somewhere in the singing pools to the east. Find Asa there and work with her to locate him. We are all depending on you. Hello, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. If this looks familiar, congratulations. You played a monk during Legion. A little busier then, though. Just gonna... I do hope you enjoy the VODs, DeCastos. And yes, you can give it to other people if that is your preference. You can say, and such picks where this goes. It's kind of up to you. I'm pretty loose about that. Oh, Jesus, Wenlock. I don't know if I'd call that dedication. I have another word I'd probably call that. You know, interestingly enough, he can't do Death Knight that way. Pandaren Death Knights don't start out here. So, yeah, rice fields. Gotta have your rice fields. Very important. I'm also going the wrong way. Whoops. He gets publicity. I mean, the people doing those insane, extremely boring streams make more money than I do, so clearly they know something I don't. And the answer to what they know that I don't is how to be a good streamer. That's great, Spoke Off. Need to be more quirky. Alright, I've got a quirk. I'm really, really boring. And that's my quirk. I think that one's growing a beard.
What you doing? Where are you from? Hi there. Who are you supposed to be? I'm growing a beard.
I was right! Hey there, you the one that brought back the fire spirit? Was he hot? I bet he was hot. Of course he was hot, don't be dumb. I bet you're really strong, huh? Bet you could kick that bridge right in half if you wanted to. Nuh-uh. Bet they could kick you over the hill, though. Heh. Okay, bye. Bye, kids.
What do you need?
Gather me reeds from the pools. Do not question why. Do, and then observe the results.
Until next time.
Okay. Oh my god. They're so cute. They're so cute! Look at them! Look at them. Gaze upon their adorableness. So as the waters are cursed, so you turn into a skunk when you're in the waters. It's okay, though. It's not a real curse. It's a Pandaren curse. Pandaria is kind of like the MLP of the setting, you know? Things there are just not as bad.
Patience is the highest virtue.
It is good to see you again. This is the pool of the skunk, as I'm sure you've noticed. Over the many ages of Shenzhen Zoo, the animals have died here in these pools, and through their deaths, their spirits infuse into the waters, and when touching those waters take their form. There are several cursed pools here, some more dangerous than others.
Hello, friend.
Through meditation, I intend to locate the route to Shu. In the meantime, you would benefit from practice and discipline. Your first task is the task all trainees entering the pool have. Cross the balancing poles and ring the bell without falling into the pool. Should you fall, the pool's curse will make it difficult to get on a pole again, so you will need to start over. Oh, and beware the cranes.
In time, all answers become clear.
I require peace to perform meditation. Practice your arts. Use other monks practice balance in combat. Engage and defeat them. Okay, well I'll just walk. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'll go grab these reeds while we're over here. Now I'm a frog. Ribbit. Just need to be careful of these cranes. Oh my god, look at how fast I move. Look at me. Ribbit. Ribbit. Yeah, I have 3 nieces. I had to get good at doing animal sounds. See you around, DeCostas. And I hope you enjoy the VODs when you get there. Ah! Crane! Crane! I don't think your joke has any legs, Evo. This is actually clever quest design, too. While you're polymorphed, you can't interact with the poles. So you have to start over if you fall in. Oh, there we go. It's not obvious because I just did it correctly, but it's also on a timer. Excuse me. There's also one other thing you can do while you're up here. Fight people. Of course. As if there's anything else to do in Warcraft. Now go turn into a frog. Yeah, you also risk getting eaten by a crane. That is also true. You know, I don't remember. I'll try the third pool in just a second, Evo. It's all relative, Dakota. You look at the rest of Azeroth, and there's a lot worse that could happen to you than being eaten by a crane. I forget the exact percentage, Chill Penguin, but yes, I did raise my prices at the new year. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just turning them into frogs, J. Palmer. As all people should be. Here, I'll turn into a frog too, just to make it even. Ah! Crane! 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 Oh. I don't turn into anything here. I'm kind of sad about that. I wanted to turn into a turtle or something. What about down here? Nothing? Damn. How about over here? Oh, turtle. Oh, geez, turtles are slow. Turtles are slow. Turtles are slow. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, geez, he's still trying to kill me. He's still trying to kill me. Good evening, Linareth. I like how skunks are fast, too.
Discipline and practice lead us to our full potential.
Good. You're a quick study.
It's good to see you.
Even now, your skills increase. Your footing becomes more sure. Your blows strike with more force. Discipline and practice are keys to reaching full potential. The crane was like, I got this! Alright, what do you got?
Hmm?
Telling you of my strength means nothing. I must show you.
Goodbye.
Good. No number of reeds have ever withstood my might. Step back. Let me dispel your doubts.
Enough of that.
The reeds of the singing pool are the hardest in all the land, but they are as air before my mighty blow. Many have tested my claim, yet I stand proven. By the way, he actually said brow, not blow, because he does that with his freaking head, which is actually really stupid for several reasons, but that's okay. By the way, his title is Ironbrow.
Discipline and practice lead us to our full potential.
It seems Shu, the spirit of water, had a play companion when he came to the pools over the years. An old Pandaran we know as Old Man Yong. Liang moved away from the main town some time ago and stopped practicing the pools. I am told he lives in a small house northeast of here up the hill. Liang may know what has driven Shu away. Go ask him. By the way, I apologize in advance for all the mispronunciations I'm going to do. We're just gonna live with that. That's just our life. We're just accepting it.
You are most welcome.
Visitors are rare up here, but you're welcome. It's good to see you, young monk.
Family, friends, food. These are what matter most.
Shu, the spirit of water, is eternally young, as are all the spirits of Shenzhen Zhu. I have been friends with Shu all my life, but I am no longer have it within me to play with him. I am old. I lack the energy. For all his complexities, Shu is simple to please. He desires friendship. When I returned to play with him each season, I would always bring him a sun pearl as a gift, and then we would play together. You can find a sun pearl in the pools to the southeast.
May you find mastery in your passion.
There are dangers in the pools. The latest and most vicious are the water pinchers. A time has come for their numbers to be diminished, and I am no longer up to the task. If you could clear some of the water pinchers, I would be very appreciative. Beware their numbers. Sometimes it's best to lure them from the poolside rather than wading all the way in.
May the red crane live forever in your heart.
And yeah, that little motif we just heard is probably my favorite one personally in Pandaria. I don't know, there's some good music out here. I'm also a little biased, because I like most of the music in here. Except for one noteworthy song. Don't worry. We'll hear this. Wow. They actually killed me. I played Here's the Storm extensively, and we used to stream it every Sunday, J. Palmer. Hi, Melkor Blade. Well, I mean, the game itself stopped being supported, but the reason I stopped Blizzard Sunday is because we started having flagging participation. And I had other things to do. It's Grandpa Mr. Red, Melkor Blade. Don't worry, we'll get to him once Mr. Red comes home. Did I stop enjoying it? No, Here's the Storm is still awesome, even now. It is still the best MOBA ever made. IMO. I mean, this guy really hurts. Wow. Bloodline champions. Let's Google that. Bloodline champion. Well, it's free, so automatically my first thought is no. But, hang on. Let's not be too negative. Oh, actually, I have played this one. It is fine, I guess. I don't have any distinct memories of it. I didn't even remember it until I saw pictures of it. I mean, the overwhelming majority of free games are, in fact, trash. That's reality. Like 99.99% of free games are trash. Yeah, the rewrites, Evo.
Tell me of your travels.
The decision to not return to the pools was a hard one. I don't think Shu ever understood. He does not know what it means to get older and weaker.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
Shu's desires are not so different from our own. He does not want to be alone, unwanted, unloved. He longs to be needed, to share his life with others. Knowing that, earning his trust is not terribly difficult. He just wants company.
May the red crane live forever in your heart.
Shu, the spirit of water, is sulking in the deep pool to the north. Cross the rocks, drop the sun pearl in the center. He will know what this means.
Family, friends, food. These are what matter most.
I suppose I'd ask you guys what feature you'd want to bring back, but I imagine most of you would say the ruminations. And those are never coming back, to be extremely clear about that. So I don't want to give anybody false hope. Lore runs are also never coming back, for pretty obvious reasons. No, don't be sad. Oh, okay, there we go. Looks like you have his attention. I think he likes you. He lets you play with him. Okay, I can do that. Rumination. There's a lot of reasons I walked away from ruminations. Most of them boil down to health concerns. Ruminations were very, very tasking to go through. Anytime I sat to record ruminations, like any rumination you see is a day that I probably worked about a 14-hour workday. Got very little sleep and did very little other than worked on the rumination, and then, you know, ate something that was quick, cheap, and easy to eat. You think I work a lot now? I slept in this morning. Nah.
I have to admit, that looked pretty fun. And it looks to me like you made a new friend.
Aw.
Patience is the highest virtue.
I have to admit. Oh, sorry. Just repeat that one.
Hello, friend.
You have done as Master Shang asked of us. I will return to the temple and inform the Master of our progress. You should continue south on the road to the farmlands and seek Wu Guo, the Spirit of Earth. Ji awaits you at Diaolo Farmstead, and he'll need your help. I must warn you, Ji can be reckless with his directness. Remember the things I have taught you. Discipline, patience. Right. Remember, the Alliance are the good guys. The Horde are pure evil. I should mention, as we've already talked about, Pandaria was the first time they really started walking away from the idea of the Horde being the bad guys and the Alliance being the good guys. What? What's that? Just take me straight to the next destination? Let's do it! That or Persona 5. Melchor-Blade. One of the two. Hi, Valerian. Oh, welcome to the Sick Club. I don't think so, J. Palmer. I think it's just Asa and G. Yeah, there's a cart waiting for us. Because these are well-designed quests. This is Pandaria. We're officially over the hump at this point. Pandaria is also the very last expansion that has any quests that don't share credit. As in, don't fully share with a co-op group. So let's go ahead and give that negative now. 1 negative to co-op. If you've been paying attention, and I know you haven't, we've been giving less and less co-op negatives as we go through the expansion. Nope, they actually officially got rid of that in Pandaria. And by Pandaria, I mean Warlords, because I can't talk straight. Warlords will be the first expansion that will get positives for co-op. And then we'll keep giving positives for co-op until BFA and Shadowlands.
It's good to see you.
I was wondering when I'd see you again. Well, the plus side is finding the Spirit of Earth is easy enough. Waking him, not so much. I think he's going to wake quite sore from all the pushing and hitting I've done to rouse him.
The time to act is always now.
Notice the water spirit just goes over to the nearby pool over there to start playing. Just automatically. Just a little side thing. I'll keep trying to find ways to wake this stubborn guy up, but there's no shortage of trouble on the island, it seems. The crops to the south are infested with vermin. Rascals. They breed faster than we can kill them. I have the perfect solution.
Wake up! Ugh, dang it.
Faster. Kill them faster. With you here, that shouldn't be a problem. You don't have to do this. There's no benefit or purpose behind this whatsoever. But you can just go and play with Shu again.
You sleep like a rock. There's no way you'll sleep through this!
He slept through that.
Seriously?
No, you cannot return to the Wandering Isle.
Why won't you just wake up?
The vermin to the south have been running off with all our crops, but they're taking more than they can eat. They must be stockpiling them somewhere. The ones they like, anyway. Would you go recover any of the uprooted crops you find? I've got an island's worth of people to feed, and every single vegetable makes a difference. Sure. I love the farm fields. This is nothing compared to the Valley of the Four Winds, but just take that in for a second. I am not, but thank you for asking, Evo. Yeah, did you notice some real architecture on display? I've pointed this out before. I've never known with total certainty that they have architects on staff or like consultants, but there's too many examples of them reaching out to, or too many examples of them putting real life architecture into WoW for that not to be true, right? Like even down to the way the buildings are constructed in several cases make absolutely perfect sense. If nothing else, they might do those, what do I call them, the fact-finding trips where they go and they take lots of pictures of real-life architecture. Yeah, no, exactly, Yuri. You can't just make random stuff. You got to think about it. Or do your homework. Or both. Forgive me. Yes, no smiling or laughing allowed here amongst the lore. Only the endless darkness of the abyss. Because we're all Eastern European, you see. Yep, the vermin are very much trying to encroach here a little bit. As is their wont. It is interesting to see how fertile this place is, relatively speaking. I wonder how lush this soil is, considering where it came from. Also, the local hazards are people who are here specifically trying to steal food, which makes sense. Like the carrot crunchers here. Oh, despicable. Yeah, music inside caves, can you believe it? Don't think too much about this. No. Yeah. Vermin are yet another one of those minor races they introduce in expansion and then kind of forget exist forevermore. Here's the question, can I? Oh, you mean the terrible turnip. Sorry. There you go. The terrible turnip is now mine to command. Behold his glory, his greatness. He is truly terrible. He's actually an extremely useful pet. I've actually already said this, but he has an attack that doesn't kill the enemy, so he's really good for capturing new pets. I don't know if they've ever added any other ones, but when I was really getting into the Pokemon stuff, he was the only one that did that. Let's see. His lore quote is, "And you thought turnips at the dinner table were bad." I like turnips. Unfair turnip malignancy here. Now parsnips, oh, that's much better. I actually like most root vegetables, so I guess I'm just kind of weird like that.
Greetings,
and I bet your cat is delicious, Playtall. Ever since Wugor, the spirit of Earth, fell asleep, the dirt is drying out, and it's getting harder and harder to get new seeds to sprout. We We need to hold on to any food we can, or the island will have hard times ahead.
Next one is on me.
Some of these have mouth-sized chunks spitting out of them. Ah, well, we can still make use. Thank you for your help, friend. Yeah, just cut off the bad part and wash the rest. It'll be fine. Oh, no, there's an interesting question. Favorite vegetable? I'd have to think about that for a second.
There is no hurry.
Well, okay, I'd have to think about my second favorite vegetable, because I know my favorite vegetable.
It's good to see you.
That's the way to do it. You show up, problems start getting solved. That's just one of the many reasons I like you.
The greatest virtue is the will to act.
I've got it. It's simple, really. Let's make a ruckus so loud there's no way he'll sleep through it. Why, look at this conveniently placed gong. Make me think this may have how they awoken him in the past. We just need the matching mallet to get it ringing as loud as possible.
There's no way you'll sleep through this!
The village leader tells me the mallet is over at Kihan Brewery on the river to the southwest. It's not far. Mind picking it up for me while I give the village some warning? Sure. Radishes? Radishes? These are barely even human.
Speak up.
Gather me wood planks from the construction. You do not know the extent of my strength, so I shall display it for you.
White Tiger watch over you.
Yeah, I'm thinking corn is my number 2 pick. I love corn. I love corn a lot. I'll also go with cucumbers. It's pretty high up there for me. I always knew you needed to eat, Evo. Yes, that's right. Before you were even born, I knew you needed to eat. Which, if you think about it, isn't really all that impressive. There's a baby about to be born. I predict that they will need to eat someday. Okay. You know, there's a solution for that, Evo. Do it, Evo. Give in. Give in to your endless burning hunger. Feast on the blood of your not blood of your enemies. Look, just go drink some blood, okay?
Slow down. Until next time.
Very good. My head is harder than the densest wood. Step back. Let me dispel your doubts.
Enough of that.
Our crafters build the finest wood planks. They would weather the most brutal of storms. But there is water before the storm of my crushing skull. Nothing made by Pandaran hands can withstand me.
Welcome.
Oh my god, Evo, so go get some real food to bring your blood sugar down. Jesus Christ. Well, they're all as warned as they're gonna get. Do you have the mallet?
I'm with you.
Now, that's a mallet if I ever saw one. Let's make some noise.
It's good to see you.
You ready for this? I'm thinking we should have looked for something to cover our ears, but it's a bit late for that now. Just remember the intense ringing you'll be hearing for the next few hours is the ringing sound of victory. Do I have to be, like, right here for this? Ah!
The time to act is always
well,
now.
That's definitely the ringing I was expecting, but I was hoping a bit more from Woogwo. This guy's a deep sleeper, that's for sure. That's alright, I've got another idea. There's not much preparation needed. Just how I like it.
The greatest virtue.
Alright, I was thinking about what we'd try next if the whole gong thing didn't work, and it came to me just like that. Water in the face always worked for me. That's gotta be... Yeah. That's gotta be twice as effective for someone so dry and earthy. Am I going over and asking Shu if she'll help? Hey, Shu, you got a minute? Sploosh. Wow, that actually worked. Now there's a bit of a chase going on.
Welcome.
Yeah, we make quite a team. Persistence over planning, I always say.
I'm with you.
Well, that wraps it up here, doesn't it? Now that we've got these two roused and all friendly, we just need to get them back to the Temple of the Five Dawns. You go ahead. I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'll follow up shortly. Okay. Man, I sure hate having to walk all the way back across a zone. Wait. I like how water rides along, but Earth just chills in the frickin' cart. Like a punk. Listen, you need to slow down. Life is to be savored.
My time is passing.
You have done well, my student.
Approaches swiftly.
3 of the 4 spirits have been returned to the temple. We are closer to the answers that we seek.
You return with the spirits of water and earth. You make an old master proud. Wu Gao and Shu are welcome here. We would care for them well. The only remaining spirit is Da Feng, who hides somewhere across the dawning span to the west. I can carry you to the top of the temple. Ji awaits you there to lead the way.
I love how Wu Gao just sits over here and starts punking out again. You can't quite tell, but his arms are crossed, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. Shu is, of course, playing in the water. Like you do.
Our greatest trials yet lay before us.
Several people say this is the best starter zone in the game. And those people are right. I've heard Evoker's even better, but we'll see when we get there.
Hey, this way to Morning Breeze Village.
Let's go. I mean, the fact that the only thing that might contest that is frickin' Evoker, which just came out, what, last year or 2 years ago? Probably says something. However, I just lied to you. I apologize. The best starter zone is Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is an extremely well done zone. A little edgier, but, you know, vibes. Eversong. That's an interesting pick.
The time to act is always now.
The amount of time Asa spends practicing seems excessive, but you can't deny the results. Her form is beautiful. Maybe you should go talk to her. Asa? I don't know what to say to her. Should I tell her she's gorgeous? Maybe she'd find that creepy. Maybe I could tell her I admire her poise, but then she might think I don't have any personality.
It's good to see you.
Yes, of course the Horde is crushing on the Alliance.
Welcome.
Come on, give me a hug. Our parting was not so long this time. I prefer it that way. You've been working with Asa, have you not? Our disciplines have always kept us apart, so I know little of her. Watching her perform just now, I must confess she possesses a grace and discipline I find strangely alluring. There are more pressing thoughts, though, aren't there? Let's take care of that monkey problem.
The greatest virtue is the will to act.
We must help Helder Xiaopai. There are a few more deserving of our kindness. On the way here, you surely noticed the scrolls of wisdom hanging into the grotto. The Hosen have defiled many of them, and sadly they are not recoverable. We'll deal with the problem directly. Burn the defiled scrolls. Wipe the Hosen writings away entirely. Oh, do not worry for Elder Xiaopai. The people shall come together and help him rewrite the wisdoms in time. I will see to that. Yeah, just go tell her you like her. God. Really, Savagam?
What do you need?
Gather me the stone blocks from the ridge of the Laughing Winds. You have seen my strength twice, yet I still see doubt within your eyes. It will not last.
Goodbye.
Oh man, Paper Jam was such a falling apart game. That was when the company was kind of self-destructing internally. So that's probably part of where that was coming from.
You have the eyes of one who has traveled much.
The Hosen have stolen our brushes and are painting over the scrolls of wisdom with their own wisdoms, if you can call it that. If you're here to help, stop them and bring our brushes back.
Slow down. Life.
Alright, gotta hurry, gotta hurry, gotta hurry! Okay, do I have? I do not. 21. No, we're not gonna hit that far. I gotta steal the brushes back, Evo. What the? They've covered me in paint! I'll kill you for that! Now let's see the great wisdom of the Hosen. Steal a banana from a Hosen. Expect an angry Hosen. Peel banana first, eat second. Firecracker for throwing, banana for eating. Yeah, I didn't know, Blade Duval. I'll have to take their word on it. Oh yeah, this is also when I should be reading all the tooltips out loud, because I think we're officially at the point where everything has a tooltip, like a little bit of lore detail there. Speaking of... So, the paint-soaked brush, the source of all monkey wisdom. Now, I don't want any monkey business about this. The last thing we could possibly want here is for people to be monkeying around. I was trying to cover all the puns so nobody else could do any. I had to protect you guys. I had to protect you from the puns. I used the puns to destroy the puns. You might say I had a monkey in my back about the puns. Damn it, Evo. I missed one. I missed one. Evo was always the pun master. I can only ape her expertise. Don't throw banana peel, we're going to walk. Holes.
What wisdom do you seek?
I do not wish to disparage the Hosen for their aspirations. Each race must walk its own path. In this moment, however, they are bringing harm to our bodies and our culture. And that is a line that cannot be crossed. You can tell he's not from the Federation.
May you find mastery in your passion.
I am very thankful, young one. Soon I will begin the task of documenting all our wisdoms again, so the scrolls can be hung for the benefit of all to come.
Family, friends, food.
The strength of the body cannot exist without the strength of the mind. These things are rock hard. Literally, Jojo may be getting in over his head.
Until next time.
These are the densest stones in all of Shenzinzu, yet there is nothing before my mighty head. How in the hell? Any who doubt my strength are simply foolish. What is best in life? Oh, banana.
I'm with you. It's good to see you.
You're a good man. You've proven that again and again. I'm glad to stand by you.
I'm with you. The greatest.
All right, this is the second time we've had to deal with ravaging Hosen. I think it's time we take care of this problem the Hosen way. No more patience, no more meditation. We're going to the source. We're going to the Hosen village to the north and punishing those smelly troublemakers. I've been looking forward to a chance to fight by your side again.
The time to act is over.
I need you to understand the way of the Hosen is not that of violence. When fighting is needed, we will not hesitate. When fighting is not needed, neither do we instigate. However, the direct solution is often cutting the head off the snake, as they say. The Hosen have a leader instigating these attacks. If we remove him, we won't have to wipe out the Hosen entirely. I know you're not of the Hosen, but are you with me in what must be done?
Welcome. I'm with you.
Hang on. Monkey advisory warning. The monkeys have been stealing from the village during their attacks. We should be fine without some of the extra food stores, but the idea of monkeys with fireworks, I'm a little bit concerned. Not to mention, who knows when the fireworks will come in handy. Help me recover them. Go talk to her, you git! Jesus Christ. See you around us, Mirror Star. Enjoy sleeps. Feel better. Or be destroyed.
Let's tackle this one together.
So here's holes in architecture. It's actually pretty good for people who never leave being, you know, teenagers. I couldn't make stuff this good when I was a kid. This giant jade statue doesn't seem to fit amongst the buildings. It seems to be very hard, very solid. You know just the person to bring this to. Is it because it's just a better expansion in every way, Huthor? Because it is. But no, I'm curious of your answer. Notice they're attacking us with fireworks, because of course they are. Well, we have killed many Hosen. Now to kill even more. I killed 2 Hosen before I killed 2 Hosen, and then I killed 2 more. I know, right, Papa Neeks? Alright, Rook, come here.
That all you've got?
You know what's interesting, Huthor? And I know you're going to disagree with this.
Down for the count. Ha, good going.
I would say the same thing applies to Legion. And it's funny, because Legion is all doom and gloom as well, but actually bothered to take the time to not be. Quite a bit, actually. In fact, Legion is downright inspiring at times. Because a lot of it is about, you know, pushing up.
Got this handled. It's good to see you. The greatest.
Invigorating! A good fight always makes me feel better.
Welcome.
I think you've got a bit of Hosen in you. Stick with me. I'll bring you around, I think.
The time to act is always now.
I'm somewhat impressed they haven't set their village on fire with these things.
The greatest virtue is the will to act.
I'm thinking we should celebrate with these later. What do you think?
The time to act is always now.
Asa has been meditating on the lake since we arrived, all her thoughts focused on Dafei. I don't know what she hopes to discover out there, but she's no fool, and Master Shang-Zi has entrusted this task with her. You'll find you need to cross the ropes reaching to her. It'll test your balance, but I think you're up to the task.
See you at the dock.
Yeah, Kata had a lot of referential humor, but most of it didn't land, in my opinion. Every now and again, there were a couple of jokes that landed. Badlands is a good example of that, and part of Oldham is a good example of that. And pretty much everything to do with the goblins. So, Kazan and the Lost Isles.
Slow down.
Ah, good. A true challenge. Let's put this to the test.
White Tiger watch over you.
This is magnificent. I've never seen craftsmanship so fine. This is the one... There's only one thing to do. I must smash it! Once and for all shall know the power of my mighty brow! Oh, my head! Oh, it hurts so badly. Oh, the pillar must contain enormous power. Even stronger than my brow. I'm just gonna lie down until this headache goes away. No, we'll see when we get there, Huthor. We shall see. And then he died of a concussion. The end.
It's good to see you.
I'm impressed. Most students that are even capable of reaching the spot do so soaking wet.
In time, all
If you listen long enough, the wind will carry the answer to you. Da Feng, the spirit of air, has been scared from the skies by Zhao Ren, the onyx serpent. He hides within the Chamber of Whispers. Go, Ji and I will join you there. Hey, Gum Gum. Hope the trip went well. That's true. Pandaria manages to be funny and actually work with it. Probably one of my favorite early examples of that is the Jade Miner and his wife. Like, that whole sequence is clearly played for laughs, but it works. And, as you point out, Huthor, it's clearly a part of the world, rather than being like, hey, there's this farmer, and he's just Homer. He's just straight up Homer Simpson. His wife has a giant beehive of blue hair, right?
Wait!
What?
We need to wait for the winds to settle, then make a break for the cover of the far hallway.
Oh, okay. I did, our spruce. I even pointed it out yesterday, if you were paying attention.
Wait for another opening. I'll meet you on the far side.
Yeah, it's just a tornado. I got this, Leroy! Oh my god! It's okay. I can roll while dead. Don't think about that too much. I kind of thought I was going to make it too, and I was a little bit disappointed by the thought. Yeah, this used to be a glyph that lets you roll while dead. Okay, so we're going to wait for the winds to die down. Or we can just do this. Screw it. Hi! Made it!
Da Feng, what's wrong? Why are you hiding back here?
He looks frightened. She? He? It? Da Feng looks frightened at your approach, but settles a bit at the sound of your voice. Who would calm at the sound of my voice?
Discipline and practice lead us to our full...
Da Feng, Spirit of Air, is terrified by Zhao Ren, the Onyx Serpent. We must help him face that fear, or face it for himself, force it for him ourselves. When I told Ji of the Serpent, he said any idea would begin preparations. Despite his rash nature, I must admit, I envy his passion and conviction, and his rippling biceps. No, I'm just kidding. She's a Pandarian. She admires his belly. Yes, Uthor, that is true. We did it earlier because we were getting blinded in Zuldrak.
That's the way to do it.
I'm trying to keep me up with this guy, jeez.
You have done it. Now quickly, let's attack it while it is grounded.
Also an interesting little pseudo, like, boss fight here in the tutorial.
It's down. Let us finish it off.
Hit the rockets when the enemy is nearby. And then once it's landed, actually finish it. It's a nice little tidbit there. Simple, but fun.
It is good to see you, my student.
You have helped Dafeng, the Spirit of Air, find his courage. The final spirit has been rewarded.
Our greatest trials yet lay before us.
The 4 elemental spirits will help you speak with the land and uncover its plight. But first I have one small task to ask of you. Join me. Accompany this old Pandaren to the Western Grove. Sure.
Come, child. We have one final journey to take together before your training is complete.
I've never heard of that person, Gum Gum. I'm sorry. No. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
Beyond the Elder's path lies the Wood of Staves, a sacred place that only the worthy may enter. Of the many ways to prove your worth, I require the simplest of you now. I must know that you will fight for our people. I must know that you can keep them safe. Defeat the Guardian of the Elders, and we may pass.
Okay. Let's say I don't think that's Dave Cummings, but Jim Cummings. God dang it. Well, Jim Cummings actually voices quite a few characters in World of Warcraft. But yes, his most famous is Lorewalker Cho. And yes, this is a Mogu statue. Quillian is what these are called.
You have become strong indeed, child. This is good. You will need that strength soon. And here we are. Help me with a couple of small tasks while I prepare, if you would.
Yeah, I hear it now, Luthor.
My time is passing.
Did you eat first, Devo?
Approaches swiftly.
I did not once have the strength of body that I do not have the strength of body that I once did. I'm glad there are noble Pandaren like you to fight for our people.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
You faced forest sprites in the Dawning Valley, but forest spirits in this grove were of a different breed, crueler, more dangerous. If you would clear some of these sprites out, the spirits would thank you.
Forget injuries.
I am tired. I must rest. We have a ritual to perform, but we require some of the charms from this grove. If you wander the grove, you should see them hanging from the trees. If it does not offend one as young as you, will you permit me to sit and recover my strength while you gather these charms? So, there's an interesting thing for me. Yeah, Senegos, I thought the same thing. I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Most music of this style Far Eastern music in general, hurts my ears. Something about the way they do woodwinds, I think. I'm not actually 100% sure, but it's just too high-pitched, right? It literally hurts my ears. Pandaria's music does not. I'm not sure what the difference is, unless it's just down to things like instrument choice and specifics of note usage. These are Kunpai ritual charms. As you pull your hand away from the stone, it feels as though your spirit is sticking to it for just a moment. Yes, Gum Gum, 100%. It should be destroyed forever because it happens to be music that I don't like. And that is the only requirement. What's with this young-looking tree here? Do you see this? Weird. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Alright, Gum Gum. Bans Gum Gum. See you around, Devo. Get some good rest. Yeah, it could be a Magister. There's another one of these trees. Your puns always lift my mood, Evo. So, in answer to Zara's question, I have no idea. I unfortunately am not that versed in the history of the monk class in gaming. What's interesting is if you really break it down, there's actually two monk classes in gaming. There's your monk, which is more spiritual and has access to superpowers, ki and the ability to like punch through a brick wall and stuff like that, right? And then there's your pugilist, who is someone who fights with their fists. Even in specific franchises, they usually make a distinction between a monk and an unarmed fighter. For example, these right here, these are purely monks. Like, again, these, in lore terms, they're shamans. Like I said. So, very much channeling ki through them as they're constantly trying to fight, heal, or tank. But yeah, exactly, Arspruce. Like more of a boxer or a brawler. Street Fighter is another good example of something that has both pugilists and monks.
It is good to see you, my student.
The spirits thank you, monk.
Our greatest trial lay before us.
Rest feels good. The burdens of life have become a great weight after so many years.
Forget injuries.
You come through, as you always have. You are truly one of my greatest students. I think you'll become something the likes of which the world has never seen. EC.
Where you pass, greatness follows.
I mean, I have zero respect. I actually have negative respect for James Cameron, so that's whatever. This journey shall soon be yours to undertake without me. Stay for a few moments and listen to an old man's words. Let my knowledge serve as a foundation for yours, that you might be greater than I ever was.
For 3,000 years, we have passed the knowledge of our people down. Elder to youth, master to student. Every elder reaches the day when he must pass on and plant his stave with the staves of his ancestors. Today is the day when my staff joins these woods. Our people have lived the whole of their lives on this great turtle, Shenzin Su. But not in hundreds of years has anyone spoken to him. Now Shenzin Su is ill, and we are all in danger. With the help of the elements, you will break the silence. You will speak to him. Acer and G have retrieved the spirits and brought them here. You are to go with them. Speak to the great Shenzin Su and do what must be done to save our people. You've come far, my young student. I see within you a great hero. I leave the fate of this land to you.
And he fades away and becomes a cherry blossom on his own stave. Good night, Shenzinzu. Do not mourn, my old friend. I sleep, and when I awaken, my next great journey begins. This location marks the final resting place of Lu Long, the first Pandaren explorer. Weary from a lifetime of travels, he rested under the shade of his trusted bamboo umbrella and drifted to what lies beyond. According to legend, this unusual tree grew in this spot, sprouted from that very umbrella, and his spirit merged back into the lands on Shenzinzu's back. In the generations that followed, many of the island's elders have followed, each planting his or her stave in the ground to create the Wood of Staves. Worth noting that, considering how this setting works, it is actually entirely possible that that really is Lu Long, or however you pronounce his name, in that tree. Remember, the Tuskar actually had a ritual to bind their dead ancestors into specially crafted stones so they could keep watching over them. Similar concept. Also, notice that rather than forcing us to go back, the quest actually pushes us forward, continuing the good quest design of Pandaria.
We are ready to go whenever you are.
Oh, also, while I'm on the subject...
Or if you want to wander the woods a while, Asa and I can hang out here. You know, just the two of us.
Do not listen to him. We've got work to do.
Oh, come on, Asa. Give him a bone. I can't finish the joke. Evo's not here. I can't do puns without Evo. Ugh. I love how Earth is still sleeping over here, by the way. I need to do something really quick. Well, nah. It'll work out. It'll work out.
It's good to see you.
I know. Such is the way of things.
In time, all answers become clear.
Now is not the time to grieve. The balloon is ready and Shenzinzu awaits. We'll be the first Pandarans to speak to him in hundreds of years. It's a great honor.
Hop in.
So...
Where's Master Shang?
Yeah.
Gee, they were in the Wood of Staves. You know where Master Shang is now.
Let a Pandaren hope, would you? I'm going to miss the old man.
Gee, be respectful when we speak to Shenzin Su.
When am I not respectful? You hurt me, Asa.
I might, if you embarrass us.
So, I never properly processed the first time I played this that we were on the back of a turtle. I don't know if I was just an idiot or didn't think about it or whatever, but...
We are the descendants of Lu Lang.
This was a moment for me.
Your pain, and we want to help. What ails you, Shenzin Su? What can we do?
I am in pain, but it warms my heart that Lu Lang's grandchildren have not forgotten me. There is a thorn in my side. I cannot remove it. The pain is unbearable. and I can no longer swim straight. Please, grandchildren, can you remove this thorn? I cannot do so on my own.
Of course, Shenzin-su. But your shell is large, and I do not know where this thorn could be.
It is in the forest, where your feet do not walk. Continue along the mountains, and you will find it.
We will find it, and we will remove it. You have our word.
Thank you, grandchildren.
A thorn? I left my tweezers at home. How could such a thing cause pain to something so large?
You can actually see it from here.
We will know soon enough.
Because of the new draw distance.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is that a boat?
It is a boat. A whole airship. That's a bigger thorn than I was expecting.
Those aren't Pandoran down there. They've got no fur.
Someone has crashed into our island. Removing this thorn may be more complicated than we thought. We should let Elder Xiaopai know, and then plan our next move.
Also down another airship. Which at this point in time leaves just the two, I think. Yeah, 2 Alliance and 1 Horde airships as of this moment in time are now left. Yeah, that's got... I mean, he mentions the pain was unbearable. I don't think he was joking. That sounds horrific. I mean, no more or less difficult to make than in real life, but ships take years to make, Yura. Actually, no, Linarith, you're thinking of BFA.
Tell me of your travels.
You've undergone a great honor, monk. Have you come back wiser for it?
May you find mastery in your passion.
It is all up to you to remove the thorn from the side of Shenzin-zu. Do not let your differences come between you. Trust in each other. Within Peiwu Forest is a lone hermit. Head directly to his hut. He knows intimately of the dark things that lurk in the trees.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
Yep, got it. Hurrying as fast as I can.
All right, let's go.
Notice Jojo's with us, and he's got that statue now. You know, the one that gave him a bit of a headache. And that is my fault, Yura.
What? The gate is jammed.
Let me try. Did they prop this door up against a boulder? Oh, it won't budge. Well done, Jojo.
Now there's a hint of what we'll be seeing in the Jade Forest. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it! Oh.
Wei, are these friends of yours? Never met them before in my life. Pandaren don't really come in any bad flavors, though.
Korga Strongmane, once prisoner of the Alliance, now a free and woefully unarmed Tauren. Good to meet you, Pandaren.
The Alliance? If the crashed ship is theirs, we need to contact them. Jojo, would you come with me?
We need to dislodge that ship, Korga. If we help your crewmates, can you help us?
Gladly, my new friend. Our engineer is still in the wilds, though. We will need to rescue him first.
Well, we've got a master person finder here. We're on it.
Yeah, I love that quote. Pandaren don't come in any bad flavors. And actually, he's right. You know how we've talked how every race has an acceptable bad guy faction? The Pandarens don't. There's no evil, acceptable target faction of Pandaren. Evil is rising from the seas and filling the forest. It's not just tigers anymore. Something more sinister lurks in the shadows, waiting to take any Pandaren unwise enough to stray out alone. You are not safe here. The forest has become far more dangerous ever since Shenzhen began shaking. The tigers are agitated and have begun attacking refugees, and on occasion, me as well. If these injured and weak survivors are to make it to safety, we need to clear the forest of them.
Well met, Pandaren.
He's a Tauren, of course he does that, Aaron. Sorry. That's me firmly agreeing with you. My men are now nourished, injured, and exhausted. They are Horde. Everyone will fight to their dying breath. As our new ally, we will stand by you when time comes, but we would stand stronger with weapons. I have my men out gathering bamboo to fashion into spears. If you can spare the effort, we could use a couple of capable hands.
Strength and honor.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, this is clever in its own way. You notice the first Horde person we ever meet as a Pandaren is a Tauren. Don't tell me that wasn't on purpose. Remember, first of all, Pandaria was the first time they had already really sat down and mapped out where the story was going. For the first time in Warcraft history. So, they actually had an idea of what they were doing and where they wanted story beats to go. Hey, planning, go figure. But second of all, and more importantly, they had also already started going down the line of the idea that there's a difference between the Hellscream forces and the rest of the Horde. So what do we meet here? There's a few orcs here, sure. And then there's some trolls. And then there's some Tauren. Yeah, this could have gone so much worse if we'd gone here and the first thing we meet is some frickin' Hellscream forces. So while these are technically Hellscream forces, no, these are Horde. Like, imagine if we met frickin', what's his name? The guy from Stone Talon Peak. Mr. True Believer. Or hell. Remember the guy in, Twilight Highlands? What kind of person sends away his close air support? Wonk! A winner. It could have been a troll, and honestly, probably would have been better if it was a troll. But yeah, they went with the safe choice. Which is, yeah, it's a Tauren. As was pointed out earlier, Taurens also tend to be good guys. Only accepting the Grim Totem. Frickin' Magatha. God. Yeah, we meet one of the Sylvanas loyalists here. Remember, that was a thing as of Kata, too. Broken bamboo stalk. Sharp enough to effectively poke things. Yeah, I've gotten a bamboo splinter before. They suck. That's all I'm going to say about that. Hey look, it's Chill Pangolin. Hi, Chill Pangolin. So Gum Gum asked if I've ever studied Eastern culture, I think it was. But either way, the answer is no, which is why I didn't really have much of an answer for you. I haven't studied much culture, if I'm being completely honest with myself. I'm more interested in history, politics, war, stuff like that. Yes, bamboo, angry grass. Oh, culture is extremely important. I just don't study it. That's all. The possibility of Ubisoft going under? I hope so. It would be probably best and overall ideal if Ubisoft were to completely self-destruct and get part and parceled out. They take a lot with them, just like happened with I can't think of the name of the company all of a sudden. The great company implosion, which had a C effect on most of the gaming space. I can't think of their freaking name. THQ. That was it. THQ. Nah, probably not. I should probably mention that while I call that the best possible outcome, it'd still be bad. What would happen in that case is all of the IPs, I don't know if I agree with that, Trax. All of the IPs under Ubisoft would then get part and parceled out to other companies. They would get auctioned out, in other words. And who would buy those up? Probably no one better. But then again, Ubisoft is one of the worst companies for a reason, so there's at least a chance of some of those IPs going to someone better. And not, you know, Embracer.
The Horde stands by you.
The Horde do not stand down from a fight.
Well met.
These are excellent. We'll have these crafted into weapons in no time.
Strength and honor.
These survivors are in your debt, Monk.
The Horde stands
To dislodge an Alliance ship, we'll need to find our engineer. He parted ways with us when we escaped the wreckage. You should be able to find him somewhere on the Western Front. Tell him Korga sent you. He'll get in line to help.
Well met, Pandaren.
Let's go find this engineer. Maybe getting this thorn removed won't be as hard as we thought.
Oh yeah, by the way, quick aside here. Have you noticed the drastic increase in the quantity of voice acting? Now, a lot of that's just for the Wandering Isle, but as I've pointed out several times, every single expansion will have a higher density of voice acting than the previous one. That's a linear line, even including BFA and Shadowlands. Also, quality. I would say one of the things that impressed me most about BFA was, in fact, the voice acting. There was a lot of it, and it was surprisingly good. And yes, these guys are over here. We're not going to talk about these too much yet, but these guys are one of the reasons why this part of the island is locked off by that wall earlier.
Time is money, friend.
Korga sent ya. Ha, wouldn't mind doing a number on that ship and my own reasons anyways, but it's going to take some work. Give me a moment to think.
Keep it real.
May not be get your ship free, but we'll need to take more of explosives we were trying to take back from the Alliance to make it happen. I ordered my men to grab all the explosives they could before making our escape. If you sift through the wreckage and bodies to our south, you should find some explosive bundles amongst them. Those that didn't blow up any already. Give me enough of them. I think I can put something together for you.
Have a good one.
I'm with you.
I do not know what this evil is that is infesting the forest, but I know exactly how to deal with it. So do you, I think. Yeah, notice they don't even recognize the Sauroch. Sauroch. I don't know why I trilled my R there. So, Pandarans are in Warcraft 3. To answer that question. Whoever asked that, looks like it was Gum Gum. Samwise Didier, oh god, so... He was one of the chief artists of Warcraft back in the day. Hang on 1 second here. And his emblem? I don't even know what to call that. Was a panda. And so he constantly would use them as Easter eggs and things. For example, the most obvious example of this is the glaives of Azzinoth back in Warcraft 3 have a little panda symbol on them because he helped draw them. Right? Yeah, it's signature. Thank you. That's actually what I was going for. So he personally designed the Pandarans back in Warcraft 3 and then Chen Stormstout back in Frozen Throne. Now, they didn't do much with it since then, but the idea was always there in the back of their minds that they were a major race within the setting. And remember what I just mentioned, that when they started going into Pandaria, they started sitting down and codifying the lore. And one of the early things they were thinking about was, what are the actual native races of the planet? In other words, which races were born here, as opposed to so many other... Because one of the things they noticed when they were sitting down looking at the lore is the overwhelming majority of the species on this planet were crafted. Usually Titanforge or Titanforge Consequence, right? Even the elves came from the trolls. So they started thinking, who are the original races? And pretty much in honor of Samwise, they decided to go ahead and make the Pandarans one of the original races of the planet. In other words, they've been around since the beginning. Come on. God, I hate having so little energy at this level. And I'm dead. I mean, one of the other original races is the trolls, so... Although we do have the... oh god, I can't remember the thing the Tauren came out of. I can't remember their stupid names. Yongle, that's them. Where do you get that from, Pillars of Snow? Because I just double-checked myself, and it actually specifically mentions that they were around before the Kaldorei and the Furbogs. Although last I checked, the Furbogs are also one of the native races. I haven't checked up on that in a while. They might have retconned that by now. Grab all these TNT bundles here. Don't mind me. Oh, do ogres fit into this? Ogres are aliens. They're literally from another planet. And they are unintentionally crafted by the Titans. They're more like the descendant of something that is the descendant of something that is the descendant of something that's the descendant of something that was then unintentionally made by a Titan. There we go. I think I got the full chain there correct. To my knowledge, they've never gone fully in-depth into any of the native races. They just say, yep, they're natives, and that's it. Like, that's the answer. Where'd the trolls come from? Evolution? You tell me. Sure. Agrimar crafted Grond, I believe, was the first one, which was a mountain. It was a walking freaking mountain. Gorgrond is made up of chunks of his corpse. Out of him came the Colossi, I want to say. We see some of their corpses lying around in the Frostfire Ridge. From the Colossi came the Magrond, that's the elemental Gron. From them came the Gron. From the Gron came the Ogres. No, came the Ogron, excuse me, I forgot about that. Forgot about a step. From the Ogron came the Ogres, and from the Ogres came the Orcs.
Yo!
By the way, this guy's name is Mikhail Bay. Mikhail Bay. You're in one piece, that's a good sign. Did you get your hands on what I asked for?
Be good.
More than enough. I got the main control panel constructed. We should be ready very soon.
Have a good one.
You make me proud. You make all of us proud.
It's good to see you.
I'm sure Asa won't love this plan, but it's the only plan we've got. Would you mind being the bearer of bad news for me? She needs to know what we're doing so she can get everyone to safety. Oh, Pandaren ancestry. I have no idea. Pandarans came from... and they're still here. The end. It's not actually a joke, like I said. For all of the native races, they've just kind of walked away from it and say, yep, they're here. We don't know where trolls came from. We don't know where Pandarans came from. We don't know where Furbolgs came from. We don't know where Yongle came from. Some primordial ooze somewhere. I don't know. Let's go grab that. So we've met the Horde. Let's go ahead and talk to the Alliance. Who do we have representing the Alliance? Human, 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 human. Human, 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 human. Notice any differences here? I am not joking. Look at it.
More healers at the tents.
This
Recall
is
the priests from the west.
This is 100% humans here.
You have our favor, Pandaren.
Your friend is out fighting to save my crew. Fiercely, I might add. I'm afraid your message may have to wait.
You are welcome among us, Pandaren. I like a friendly face.
Your friend has been doing everything she can to save my crew. I'm deeply appreciative. We're still dealing with more than we can handle here. Quenching the fires of the wreckage, getting my people out, fighting off the evil sea creatures, trying to prevent the prisoners from escaping. We're in over our heads. I still have men on the ship that need to get clear of the wreckage. I know this is asking a lot, but can you help?
You have our favor, Pandaren.
We need supplies to tend to our wounded, but the supply crates containing them were scattered in the crash. If you can bring back any crates you find, I'd be very grateful.
I like a friendly face.
After their ship crashed, evil creatures swept in from the sea to pick through the wreckage. Our aid may seem a drop in the pond of the thought of the misfortune they face today. Defeat those tormentors. Yeah,
Goodbye.
sure. I mean, honestly, yeah. The Alliance are and have been humans for a long time now. Now, the good news is we're starting to leave the era of them being monoculture. So that's nice. It would be funny, wouldn't it, Linerith? Alright, the Gron are like, you know what we really need? Brr. By the way, more Sarok, if you noticed. Sarok are interesting. They're... no, actually, Luthor. Sarok are always evil, as in there's no possibility of peaceful cooperation with the Sarok. But ironically, it's not really their fault. We'll talk more about them later. Just, yeah. This is our acceptable enemy. These and the Mogu, but we'll get to the Mogu much later. I mean, Warcraft 1 was literally just humans versus orcs. It was Warcraft 2 that started adding other races to the mix. Although, having said that, I'm one of those weirdos who thinks that the beginning of Warcraft lore is Warcraft 2, not Warcraft 1. But then again, I've covered a lot of fiction in my years, and that's true with a lot of settings. Really, Uthor? Interesting. The drunk Kron theory. They would hide up in the crags of Frostfire to get drunk. Warcraft 1 did have ogres, but they were an enemy unit, like slime. Yes, that's right. Slimes go all the way back to Warcraft 1. I don't remember what else there was. I think spiders were there. We had spiders, slimes, ogres. What else do we have as, like, neutral enemy units in Warcraft 1? I think that might be it. There wasn't a lot. Like, when you do the dungeon maps, that's the kind of stuff that would show up. Oh yeah, that's another thing that goes all the way back to Warcraft 1. No build missions. Sometime it would be fascinating to figure out which RTS was the first one to come up with the no build mission. Is when someone in chat says, it was Dune! Because I don't remember Dune well enough to say anything about that. I know Command & Conquer 1 had that. And obviously, Warcraft 1 had that.
Speak up.
You are a figure to behold in the battlefield.
White Tiger watch over you.
You are welcome among us.
I have no idea who you people are, but fate surely smiled on us this day. Many more would be dead if not for you and the help of your friends. I am in your debt.
I like a friendly face. You are welcome among us, Pandaren.
Oh, excuse me.
What do you need?
I was just looking for you. One of the escaping sailors spotted Asa in the wreckage of the ship facing some enormous beast. She might need help.
Until next time.
If Dune doesn't have a no-build mission, then it probably is Command & Conquer 1, which I believe predates Warcraft 1. I played both at the same time, like literally the same month. But I don't know when they actually came out relative to each other.
Thanks, Shenzhen Su, that you are here. I could use your help.
Oh yeah, tutorial about that attack. Do you see that giant cone attack? That telegraph? World of Warcraft is no
Get clear when it raises its weapon. It's even stronger than it looks.
Is no stranger to telegraphs. They've technically existed since vanilla. Since Warcraft 2, actually, if you want to get down to it. But that specific telegraph was a new animation and a new approach to combat. So they used it a bunch in Pandaria.
It is calling allies. I'll keep him busy while you handle them.
And I suppose I already answered this, Ross, but my first RTS was both Warcraft 1 and Command & Conquer 1. If I'm being honest, it's been so long, I don't remember which one I actually played first, because I really did rent both the same month. Yeah, exactly. They really liked their meteor strikes. Yeah, vanilla had the de-aggro mechanic, which was absolutely everywhere. Oh, there. BC had... You brought CC, right? I'm not sure what Wrath really brought. Which one's better? That's an interesting question. Especially since I plan to review both games. Although, in the interest of fairness, I'm reviewing a remaster of Command & Conquer 1. They're both pretty terrible. So it's kind of hard saying which one is better than the other. From memory, anyways. I think I would at least give some of the bonus points to Command & Conquer 1. Because, well, frankly, because of Joseph Kukin. And his wonderful presence on screen. We're about to finish the zone as Miristar.
I don't know what I would have done without you. It's good that you came. Hello, friend.
She's clearly exhausted from the fight. Your skills in battle are unquestionable. Did you save the escaped prisoners? Where's G? Is he okay?
Patience is the highest virtue.
Wait, what? How could you be so reckless? Blowing the ship up free is insane. That could kill Shenzinzu, and all of us with it. I know we don't have much time, but we need to think of another way.
Good to see you. Ji may kill Shenzinsu if we let him go through with this. Come with me, quickly.
If Dune had a no build, then it's definitely the first one.
Stop! This is reckless and stupid!
Asa, this is our only option. We blow the ship free, then we heal his wound. We have no other solution.
If you stop this, then maybe we can come up with one.
So we just wait until we think of something? Shenzinsu is dying. Doing nothing risks everything.
Doing this risks everything.
I'd rather die knowing that at least we tried.
Ji, if this is what you must do, I will not stop you. But we could lose everything. I hope you are right.
Wait, so they didn't decide to pointlessly kill each other? This isn't the HVA at all! Got the thorn out.
Asa.
We don't have time for this. We gotta get healing. Right now. We just blew a hole in the guy's shell.
His wounds can be healed.
I hope you can forgive yourself for what you have done to him.
Well, yeah, Pandaria... Yeah. Pandaria understands there's this concept called nuance in its storytelling. It's still the beginnings of it, but, you know, better than nothing. So, yeah, this doesn't look great. Not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I do have to agree with Huthor. Damn you, Huthor. Damn you! We have a plan? Yeah, okay. Okay, we're good, we're good.
Welcome.
All right, now we must shave
Stay close and keep these healers safe. Our lives depend on it.
This is more horrific than I imagined, but we can handle this. We need to gather the healers and close the wound. We need to save Shenzinzu. Find any healers you can, rescue them, relieve them, do whatever it is you can. Get them over here healing the wound. Get out of there. Not that I'm aware of, Yura. I mean, frankly... Yeah, they're trying to show that both philosophies have pros and cons, and I do like the idea of the approach, but I think they're a bit lacking in their execution of it. She really didn't have any kind of alternative or other idea. He had a plan that was provable, and it's not like he was like, blow it up and screw it. He was like, blow it up, and then we deal with the consequences of it.
We stand by your side, friend. This battle is not yours alone.
We'll cover this front. You keep my priests safe.
If we lose the healers, Shenzin Su dies, and all of us with him. Keep them safe.
Also, you'll notice that we've got Horde Druids, well, and Alliance also here, are supposed to be here, working together to make this work. Again, kind of a theme of the entire expansion here. So, part of the problem with Sauroch is they don't really have sentience in any real sense of the word. You remember how I mentioned... I don't want to go too much down this rabbit hole. But you remember how I mentioned that the Hosen's problems aren't really their fault? Well, the Sauroch are the same thing. They were built by people who didn't know what they were doing. They were trying to build a weapon, a servitor weapon race. And again, they were built by people who didn't know what they were doing. And honestly, that explains everything you need to know about the Sauroch.
I'm with you.
You were a sight to see when under pressure. We wouldn't have stood a chance without you. I think it's working. The flow of blood is slowing. I knew it would work.
It's working. The wound is closing. We risked everything, but we did it. Shenzin Su will be okay.
I love that transition shot. Great way to do the layering there.
Welcome.
I did what had to be done, and the plan worked. Things could have been much worse had we not acted. I wish Asa understood that. There'll be plenty of time for reflection, but now we return to the Temple of Dawns. We need to let them know Shenzinzu has been saved. And we need to sort out the fates of our new allies.
I bear your presence only as a kindness to our new allies. Do not push me, human.
Stand down, Torin, before I put you back in chains.
Could you both chill for 5 seconds, please? God. Well, what was her plan? Exactly, Lyra. That's sort of the problem here. Yeah, Chen is our brewmaster. Asa is our Mistweaver. G is our Windwalker. We'll meet Chen much later, like tomorrow later. I've never even heard of it, Yura, so I'm gonna go with no. In fact, actually... Okay, so we've got a Night Elf for the Mistweaver, some Orc for the Windwalker, and Chen Stormstout is the image of the Brewmaster. That's funny.
It is good to see you, my student.
You have done all that I asked of you and more. You have saved Shenzin Zu. You make an old master proud.
My time is passing, but your time approaches swiftly.
These new allies have shed light on a great and important truth. It is not just Shenzhen Zu that is ailing, but all the land beyond the clouds. The world needs healing, and I think you should be the ones to heal it. I would like you, G, and Asa to leave and bring your strength and wisdom to the world. These Alliance and Horde have different ideals, but at the core of both lies noble intent. I will leave the choice of who you wish to accompany to you.
You all accomplished a great thing in saving Shenzhen Su. You do us all proud. It seems your journeys are not done. These new allies of ours come from a broken world that could use our help.
Master Shangzi, I would like to accompany the Alliance back to their home.
What of you, Chi? Would you join the Horde in their journey back?
Yes. Perhaps that is for the best. I like what I've seen of them, and it sounds as though their world could use my help.
And you, my young student, where will you go?
So, for various reasons, I'm going to not pick either. Wait, is the scene with Varian completely gone? What happens if you choose Alliance, then? Like, actually, what happens? Why do they keep getting rid of Alliance cutscenes? God dang it, stop it! Wow, that... okay, well... okay. That sounds like a negative to me. What? Oh, whoops. Wrong thing. Sorry. I actually want this. There we go. That's better. Yeah, could you stop gutting Alliance quests? I know the Horde's better. I do. I get it. But, like, for real. Quit it. That sounds like a negative to me. That's a shame, because we've been doing pretty good on not adding negatives. Anyways, here's the Alliance cutscene. No guesses as to who this is from. Oh, hang on. Skip. So what it says is... the Alliance... Oh, sorry. The noble races of the Alliance are bound together by proud traditions of nobility, honor, faith, justice, and sacrifice. The many different Alliance peoples can contribute their technical, arcane, and spiritual wisdom toward the goal of a peaceful and just world. Take up their banner to represent the high ideals of the Alliance throughout Azeroth and beyond. Horde are the proud nations of the Horde, are loosely joined in an alliance of convenience against a hostile world that would see them destroyed. Focused, ferocious, and sometimes monstrous, the Horde values strength and honor, but struggles to keep aggression in check. That's just good guys and bad guys, the way they write that out. Yeah, so then we go to Stormwind. That's also doubly funny, considering everything. Let's find out who their leader is. We need to go speak with him. Let's get going. If we're going to be of any use here, we're going to need allies. That's actually doubly weird, considering the fact that, like, this is Pandaria. It's better written than that. One of the first quests in Pandaria. God, that's loud. Never thought I'd see one of your kind walk through here. One of the first quests in Pandaria is literally a bunch of Alliance people enslaving nearby Pandarans in order to build a warfield. We're here to join your alliance. We seek an alliance with the Emperor. Emperor? You'll find King Varian inside Stormwind Keep. Behave yourselves, Pandaran. You're in Alliance territory now. Oh, I have no idea. Hey, look, gnolls. Those aren't gnolls, silly. Use your eyes. They are furbogs. Wah, wah. As we've actually already talked about, Varian is an emperor. He is. Any attempt to call him anything else is just childishness. Oh, that's good news. Once we join the Alliance, we won't run out of things to do. My rogue. Tamazan. Teacher, look! Yes, those are Pandaran, Moni. Pandaran? Here? In Stormwind? I mean, I gotta be real. I'm not sure... Like, if Varian doesn't count as an emperor, nothing does in this setting. Pandaran. You must be here to join the Alliance. Good move! It worked out well for me. That's a Worgen, if you can't tell. Oh, Garrosh's speech is awful. I'm almost glad these cutscenes don't exist in-game, because this would probably be a negative to both. Pandaran are rare, but they're not unheard of. And that's true, Garrosh is awful. A king is the leader of a nation. An emperor is the leader of multiple nations. Put very simply. As Huthor just alluded to, we'd have to really go into it to go past that. A Pandaran? I must be seeing things. Yes, Warcraft 3 was the first inclusion of Pandaran into the setting. As mentioned a few times, they were Samwise's signature, so they showed up in artwork before then. But as far as an actual narrative thing, the first time was Warcraft 3. Quiet. Outsiders approach. Yes, but are their intentions good? I'll look carefully. The light is strong in them, particularly that one. What's the light? I love how many Pandarans are in this. This is footage from the beta, if it's not obvious. Ignore all the dead people. Ignore all the dead people.
Stormwind honors your service to the Alliance.
Pandaran, you're here. Good. I only recently received word that some of your kind might be coming our way. I'd be glad to call you an ally if you're willing to join our cause.
I am Varian, but I am also Logosh.
Walk with me, all three of you. I understand you want to join the Alliance. We have always have need of allies. I'd be a fool to turn you away, especially in times of war. Wait, this isn't a war, it's a police action. But first, there are a number of things I want you to understand. Yes, go on. First, the races of the Alliance look out for one another. Except for all the racism, ignore that. You're expected to provide aid to Alliance members in need. Human, gnome, Drana, or a Pandaran like yourself. Yeah, I know, monoculture. It's a simple guideline, but a meaningful one. Do you understand? Certainly. Good. Because that brings me to my second point. Not all Pandaren have chosen the same path as you three. Some have sided with the Horde. They, along with the other barbarian clans of the Horde, are your new enemies. Those whom you once considered friends, or even those you might have loved, are now your sworn adversaries. I will not tolerate friendships across enemy lines. Do I make myself clear? Yes, of course. Very well. We're nearly finished. And that's it.
My open hand will reward my friends.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. So, the Horde isn't any better, really. Here we are, Orgrimmar, heart of the Horde. We can be helpful beyond the edges of the Wandering Isle. There are innumerable problems out there just waiting for us to solve them. And this is what Master Shang-Zi would have wanted. There's no better place to start doing that than here, with the aid of the Horde. Let's find out who their leader is. We need allies. Never thought I'd see one of your kind walk... Oh, sorry, that's an orc. Through your kind walk through here. Go on through. The War Chief's expecting you. Oh, God. There's no portal there. Oh, God. The old interior. I forgot what it looked like. Look. It's G. Firepaw. And Hit and Run 1. They're the ones who helped Korga escape from the Alliance. Oh, look at this. Well, that's good news. Once we join the Horde, we won't run out of things to do. Yeah, Orgrimmar and Stormwind both got their revamps in Kata, but they've gotten further revamps since then. I think Dragonflight is the most recent one. Don't quote me on that. Pandaren, approach. Emperor Hellscream. I am G... That's War Chief Hellscream. Now rise. We should talk, Pandaren. You've made a wise decision to join my Horde. There are some who would call us barbarians, the mongrel races of Azeroth. They are ignorant, blind to reality. Look around you, Pandaren. You'll find no better partner in battle than an orc. The Tauren have plenty of uses. Look, this one's a shaman. Even a blood elf can hold a sword. I love how racist he is. My point is, if you want support of the Horde, you need to find your role in the Horde. Do you understand this, Pandaren? Yes, War Chief. Good. Moving on. I know that you are not the only Pandaren to escape from that island. Some of your kind chose to join the Alliance. They are now your enemies. You may have had friends and kin who chose to join the Allies. They are no longer your friends, no longer your family. The minute they put on that Alliance tabard, they died. I will not tolerate any lingering ties across enemy lines. Do I make myself clear? I believe so, yes. Good. Meet me at the Valley of Honor. I want to beat you up. Yes, really, that's actually what happens. There's a fight, and you have to go fight a Gron to prove that we're worth his time. I'm not actually joking. Varian duels us, but Garrosh How's us fight a frickin' Gron that he hauled in here for us? Yeah, right over here. And a Magnetar. Gotta have a Magnetar. Well fought. I don't think I could have survived that battle without you at my back. You've proven your worth. In battle and in heart. Few would be willing to leave their homeland and join the Horde. Few would still be willing to face a charging Magnetar in combat. You and the rest of your people are welcome among our ranks. Welcome to the Horde! And lunch break.